Well, we've got a nice spot out here. And just a minute, puppies. We're having some egg bites. The puppies are waiting. They love to have a little egg in the morning. Here goes the guy in the Bronco. Mainly what you see up here are guys in big, trucks and stuff. Yeah, Mr. Mickey's licking his lips already. Here's a piece for puppies. Gotta wait for it to cool off. Gotta wait. So I think this afternoon later I'll have the, no, you gotta wait. This is not your bite. This is Mama's bite. You gotta wait. You're gonna get a bite. You get bites. Okay, puppy bites. Eggy num-nums. So this is pretty out here, but if it rains, and it did rain just a little while ago, it's still wet out here. Now I wouldn't pull all the way down. It had a really nice little meadow area back there, but it's wet. So I wouldn't pull all the way down in there. So as lovely as this is, I'm just going to have my brunch, have my little egg bites, and then we're going to head out on the road, go out of here, because this is, like I said, if it rains again, this could be disastrous being stuck in here. But it's beautiful up here. This is road off of Road 84 from Chama. I've never been this far. So I've just passed into Colorado, and I saw this, forest road, 7-something miles to the lake. But when you get all the way to the end of the forest road, it's just a parking area, and you got to hike down to the lake. You don't see the lake or anything. So what I did see was a lot of forest road. And like I said, most of the ones up here are in trucks. There are a few people that have come up in vehicles, but not as many. But as far as a forest road, this one was good. It didn't have really big rocks. Big rocks that you had to go over. It did have some big divots. They were about that deep. Some of the divots that did have rocks in it. So you wouldn't want to come up here with bald tires. I'll say that. But for most of the road coming up here, you could come in here with a car without a problem. It would be bumpy, but It's not like other forest roads I've gone on where it's just rocks like this. And you got to pick your way through it and you're going over rocks. And yeah, this road is not bad like that. It's only got that one place where it's got that big divot about that deep, two of them in sequence. And then they did have pretty big rocks in them. But other than that, this road is pretty easy breezy for people, for the most part. Now, I don't know about coming up here and dragging those little trailers and stuff. I don't think they're really meant for doing forest roads and off-road stuff. They're not built well. So I wouldn't bring those up in this type of area. Or vans, some vans too. I mean, you get in there and you got all that stuff and yeah, it can shake everything loose and yeah, that's a nightmare in vans. You'll get another bite, Mickey. You have to sit. Good boys get treasures. Good boy, sit. Good boy, sit. You get a treasure because you're a good boy. Good boys that sit get treasures. They do. They get treasures. Good puppies. So anyway, when I go to cook in here, I just put my beds up, pull them up this way, and then I've got a nice backrest. I can have the door open, and I've got nice airflow, can sit out here, enjoy the sunshine. You know, I have a little silicone mat I put down here that I can put my grill or my other pot on and cook. So it works out really well. Now today, we came out here, the puppies got to go on the 20-foot leashes. So they got to go in a little more freedom to explore. Now there was still frost on the ground out there when we went out. And it's 39 degrees out there now. But with the sunshine, it's not bad at all. It feels actually quite pleasant. That was good. Now clean up my dish and my grill. So how do I clean things in here? I'll use a paper towel first to wipe it out. If there's grease or something, I let it cool down and then I throw it in my toilet. Combination toilet and the garbage wet garbage. And then I clean them with these water wipes. 99.9% water. And it works really well. Things clean up easily with them. And it doesn't have fragrance and stuff like that in it at all. I think the other 1% is, I don't know if it's lemon, it's something, but it's something that's, you know, quite fine to have on there. So that's good. Then I wrap my fork in a little paper because I don't want it to scratch my non-stick surface of my grill, but I keep it in the grill along with a little knife and you know, my little grill things. I keep them all in here. So it's easy to find. Yeah, that's cool now. So easy breezy. Now, if you go up through Chama, you got to go all the way through the little town area. They've got a good little grocery store and Ace Hardware. Now, I did stop there today, and I got little bungee cords. And it's not exciting looking, but I bungeed my 3-drawer tower thing over here and bungeed it to my kitchen area, because going on these roads like this can tip it over because I don't have it screwed in or anything. That worked really well. So that holds it nice and secure. It's not going to tip over or go anywhere. Coming out on these roads that are, you know, rocky or that you have more difficulties on. Now, unfortunately, there was one, I think they were called Toyota World Travelers. They built this overland. It was a Chinook. They took a Chinook RV thing and put it on a Toyota frame. And they really went, I think they went to South America. They went all over. They just recently passed, though. It was on a forest road. I don't know where. Maybe it was Colorado. But they were on a forest road that was, and they went down. And some of the forest roads, you got to be careful because some of them have really big rocks. And some of them, it goes into really narrow. And I think he just got too close to the edge and they went down. They both passed. And that was sad because I think they were, what were they, in their early 30s or something like that? But I used to like to watch them because they were just, you know, they were doing overland. I mean, other countries and everything. It was great. They had a lot of great adventures. But they do lose their life on one of those forest roads. And some of them, like I said, you have to be, not all forest roads are really passable. You have to be careful. This one is this is easy breezy. Now there are some forest roads I've gone on in New Mexico where, I mean, just a ton of rocks that you're going over and stuff. That's why I had the Prius lifted and I have the skid plate underneath of it. So if I do go over a rock that's too big, it's not going to tear out the underside of my car. So, but I'm not out to doing big rock climbing, you know. So there are some forest roads you can go on, and then some of them, it will tell you it's four-wheel drive vehicles only, lifted tall. So if you start going on a forest road and it starts out okay, and then you start seeing that the rocks are elevating, you might want to turn around and go the other way because it's not going to get better. I've found on those types of roads, it just keeps getting worse the further you go. That you're going to have those big rocks, you know, big rocks. It's like going over curbs all the time. Now, I'm not talking about going out there when you're doing the rock climbing stuff that they do, which I think is a bit insane, but each to their own. You know, I'm not out here to do the heavy rock climbing insanity. I go out the forest roads to find places like I'm at right now. I'm out here, nobody else is around. I'm in nature. These trees are lovely. They're now in the foliage. They've got the yellow, bright yellow leaves now. So I'm so glad that I was able to come out here and see that. The fall, the changing leaves of that, the bright yellow leaves, they're so gorgeous. And just see, you know, the area I just went through from Chama up here, beautiful area. And this morning, you know, the one I shared out there, with the red cliffs and stuff, just beautiful. And that's what it's about for me. For me, it's about the drive and enjoying this scenery like this. Just gorgeous. So on that note, I'm going to leave this here, and we're going to start heading down the road. And where I'm going to wind up, I don't know. Now, where we're headed is, what is it, Pagosa Springs or something? Is where they just had that huge flood. So we'll see now. That's about maybe 15, 20 miles from where I'm at now. And you could see that it rained out here as well pretty heavily because it is still, you wouldn't have wanted to get caught back here in that rain. And they had that huge flood in Pagosa Springs. So we'll see how it is now, if it's passable, not passable. But it's been a few days, so hopefully now it's you're able to get through. But I'll find out, won't I? So far, I see, like I said here, right where we're parked at the moment, it's still wet. Now, I would not go any further back there because, yeah, it's still pretty wet back there. Anyway, on that note, we're hitting the road again. We stopped, we had our goodies, we took this road, I explored it the whole way out. Now we're headed back and continuing on our way.